OnAirCoach.
Hey, Nails and Tracey here from OnAirCoach, and we are thrilled to be joined today by Jenna Reynolds. I hate to say the word Jessie, formerly of Jump On.
Oh,
I know.
like a knife right in here. Yes, formerly, former morning show host, but hopefully not for too long.
That's right. Well, you were saying that just before we started talking, and we've had this before. Welcome to radio. You're now part of the game.
That's showbiz.
Yeah, that's showbiz.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've only been in the business almost 4 years, but since I started, I hear, get ready. You're not really in radio until you've been fired at least once. And you always think it's never going to happen to you, but then it does. And now I feel like I'm part of the family.
Yeah, and without going into the politics of it and all that rubbish, I mean, on a human level, I've had it happen to me. It's one of those, hey, quick chat just before you finish your show, just before you leave. Yeah, sure. And you go into the office, next thing you know, you're gone. It does hurt, right? It gets Yeah.
Especially when, Chorus is an incredible company. I can't say anything bad about them. I've had an amazing 4 years there. But we knew when our program director came into the studio during our show and asked to speak to us afterwards. They don't ever do that. They don't come in the studio. If anything, they'll send you an email and say, hey, come see me after the show. Yeah. So right away we thought, uh-oh, something's up. Our hearts sank. And to be honest, we kind of thought they were going to tell us that they were letting someone else go. But we were wrong. And we were separately told we were being let go due to restructuring. That was the only reason we were given.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We've new plans in operation. Unfortunately, you're not part of them, all that kind of thing. I mean, and you also, part of the problem is you probably don't have a plan B necessarily locked in. So you're kind of left going, oh, crap, what do I do now? You probably have ideas, but ideas don't generate an income. And you're going to go, great.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, right now I'm getting a flood of ideas from people. But like you said, none of them are paying my rent.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that I'm a comedian with Yuck Yucks, the international comedy group. So they're helping me out right now too. And that's actually where I got my start. So until I find something else in radio or TV, I'm just going to go back to my roots of stand-up and see what happens there.
Your history in radio is quite short. I mean, we know how you got into it, but tell
everybody.
It was
a contest, Jessie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I won a contest. How many people could say that? So, my background is actually in theater. I studied theater performance in Toronto at Humber College. And then after school, I realized there was no money in theater. So I had to move home and I started auditioning. And for almost 10 years, I was back and forth, Montreal, Toronto, going on auditions. Nobody would hire me. And I saw an old interview with Johnny Carson, actually. And he said, if you're looking to break into the TV, radio, movie business, start doing stand-up. Uh-huh. And as a trained actor, I was like, I can't do stand-up. I need to read someone else's words. But after long enough of not having anything come through, I'm like, all right, let me try to make my own show. So got my 6 minutes together, hit the ground running. I was met with great success with stand-up. And within 3 months, the greatest gig on earth, Talent Search, came up. And I got that job. So I really think it was a full circle thing that Johnny Carson was right. As soon as I started doing stand-up, I got this gig in radio. And how that worked was there was 260 people that applied for this American Idol, basically, style competition. And every week they would have us do challenges, the public would vote, and they would cut it down 10 people a week, 20 people a week, until I was left at the end.
When you left, you got, you had so many fans and they started up petitions to get you back.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Overwhelming, right? Yeah, you don't realize when you're in that studio at 4 or 5 in the morning, it's dark, you don't see your audience, you get calls, but you're not seeing the real, interaction or the real reaction, I should say, that people are having to you. So to see the hundreds, sometimes thousands of messages that we've been getting, it's like, it's bittersweet at this point to see the impact that we had and to know it's over now, but that really makes me feel special.
Yeah.
It's weird now, when you're in a position where you let go, now you're suddenly hot because people are talking about it, and you almost have to act on that now. You're almost
you're on air. I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah, if you were just doing your daily show, we wouldn't be like, yeah, Jesse's fine, he's doing okay, leave him alone. Yeah,
that's the big thing. It's only been a week, but already that I've made a ton of connections, and like you said, people are reaching out, and it's so awesome, this radio community. Everybody seems to understand. Other hosts, other people behind the scenes, they've seen this happen, and so many radio people from all across the country have been reaching out, and it's just really good to know that you're not alone.
We were talking with a guy in Savannah, Georgia. Brady's in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that. Okay, and he's a real future star.
Yeah, you guys do a great job. I've watched a couple of them. That's really good.
Thank you.
But what Brady said was interesting to us, because radio is always, in our generation, we call theatre of the mind. And he said, that doesn't exist anymore, he said, because whatever you have in your mind, you can now actually show using video.
Exactly, you got the technology now.
And you do that really well.
To show it.
I would disagree that it doesn't exist anymore because, you know, with TV or video, like you said, you can show people, but when you're driving in your car, you can't or you shouldn't be watching a video. So then all you have is the radio. And that was one of the parts I loved about it, was being able to put those bits together and the sound effects and the laughs and to create that world. It was so cool.
Well, that's why we love talking to lots of different people, because you get all these different perspectives and opinions. And when Brady said that, I had to think about it. I thought, hang on a second, it's not theatre of the mind. So I love when someone does that, right? They put that idea in your head that you hadn't thought about and challenges everything you knew before or thought you knew before. You have to go away and rethink everything. It's nice.
I actually shared your Pride Month tweet today, Jesse.
Oh, thank you.
The dancing?
Yeah, with all the dancing is amazing. Really, really good.
That's good, actually.
I love all your social media stuff that you do.
Well, like you guys know, we've got to keep out there. That's how people connect with you these days.
Yeah.
I love the quote that you said, I'm not a radio personality, I'm an actor being a radio person.
Well, that's why, you know, growing up, I had a bit of the gay accent. I still do. And it's helped me in my career. But growing up, when you're bullied a little bit for being gay or for being different, I never in a million years would have thought that my voice would one day be the thing that earns me a living. So when I won the contest, it was a very emotional, full circle moment for me to remember those days of being bullied for having a girly voice or whatever they used to say. And haha, now my voice is the only thing paying my bills. So screw you.
And do you know what I love about you as well? You represent the LGBTQ community. And I'd love you to give them some kind of message, you know, to inspire other radio presenters in the community as well.
Who may be feeling what you felt those years ago before you got that.
Well, that's the thing with radio, is that there's no set path into it. And that's what I've learned, is everybody has a different story. And really, this is like show business in general. It's a ruthless business, but if you're determined and you're talented and you believe in yourself, you keep going. Like I said, I never in a million years would have thought radio would be the avenue that I take. I didn't apply to radio stations. When I applied for the contest, I thought, okay, here's just another audition. What's next? And I never would have thought it would come through. So my message when I talk at high schools and stuff is, sometimes what you perceive as your greatest weakness is often your biggest strength. And what makes you weird and what makes you different is also usually what makes you stand out. And you need to embrace that and don't try to change. Don't try to be somebody else, because I tried that, didn't work, and I only found success when I started being true to myself.
I love it. You know what? Nels was showing me the audio of you guys.
Oh, that's
yourself
funny.
and
Yeah,
Jenna.
that's funny. I said, you gotta listen to these guys. You gotta
listen to these guys. So I said, okay, right. So I'd heard you, Jesse, and I was trying to picture in my head the ideal kind of host for you to be with. And what I had pictured in my head, and when Jenna came on, I went, oh my God, it is even better than what I expected.
Yeah, the
chemistry was just, it's just unbelievable. And
well, thank you. Yeah, we're a good team.
Between you.
We always joke, though, like, you know, the best morning shows have a man and a woman, kind of like you two. The only difference on our show is I was the woman, she was the man. So she was into sports, you know, she was the one out going on dates, she was the newswoman, and I covered the fashion and the celebrity gossip and all that. And that dynamic really seemed to work well for us.
Mamma Mia.
Yes!
Does it show again?
It's the gayest day of the year next to the Pride Parade. Go see Mamma Mia 2. Check out my girl Cher. Oh, if I could turn back town.
Okay.
Town.
I love Cher as the person she is.
Yeah.
But do you really think she's that talented, like, when it comes to singing?
Jenna, you take that right back.
Well, she kind of sounds the same when she sings as when she talks.
What do you mean, Jenna?
I wish you guys could see Jesse doing his impression right now, because he literally has his hands flaring around like a
well, she does that.
like a drunk T-Rex. Even though I don't like cats, I've always been interested in one of those Sphinx cats. You know, the hairless cats?
Oh, God, are you serious?
I think they're so cute.
Oh, my gosh, but they're so wrinkly. Wouldn't you want to just go at it with a Botox needle all the time?
Well, I picked out the perfect name for my imaginary hairless cat.
What?
Dermy.
Oh, okay.
Like epidermis, you know, get it?
I do get it. That's not where I thought you were going because those cats remind me of a certain part of the male anatomy that, you know what, I see often enough. So, you know, we don't need a cat running around that looks like that.
If it came-
And do you two hang out together as well outside?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
You know what's so funny is so often people are like, we'll get messages or tweets and people say, are you guys really friends? Or sometimes we've got calls, do you guys actually like each other? And we're like, do we give the impression that we don't? Because
yeah.
we hang out all the time. I'm seeing her tomorrow.
What are you doing?
I'm taking you on a date. Isn't this how straight people start dates?
Are you going to stay in radio, Jesse? Is that the plan, or what are you hoping to do? Or
You know what? I just want to be able to feed myself next month. That's the
good
plan
answer.
right
Good
now.
answer.
The plan is to stay in radio. I would love to stay in radio. It's just tough, you know, whether it's radio, TV, stage work, and show business. You're only as good as your last show,
Right.
and you never know what the future holds. When you're a doctor, right, you have a base practice. So even if you specialize, you can always come back to your base practice or your education. But with show business, you don't know what's next. Once you're done until someone else hires you. So yes, I plan to stay in radio, but I also understand I'm at the mercy of every casting director and PD out there.
Yeah. Yuck Yucks is next, though, right?
Yeah.
Yuck Yucks is next. And yeah, that's all I can really talk about right now.
You got to take that national. Take a national. Oh, I love it.
The wink.
That's the way to do it. Hook and
There's
teeth.
things in the works. I'm not stopping. This isn't the end for me. There's no way. I'm just not ready to go yet.
Who knew I was going to be cleaning up this little game? Oh no. Okay.
The unicorn had of shame.
I see you on something like celebrities on the red carpet doing stuff. That's what I can see.
Hey, I like your style. Are you hiring?
I wish.
If we knew anybody, we'd be hiring.
Yeah.
Jesse Reynolds, thank you so much for chatting with us. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're huge fans, and we will see you on TV and doing all your stuff. It is just a matter of time. But as you say,
Matter of time.
you just have to keep believing in yourself and keep trying and knocking on that wall, don't you, all the time?
That's it. Don't you guys know it?
Yep.
Thank you for having me.
I love your style. I love your style, Jesse. I love your style.
I love yours too.
Thank you.
I'm out of here.
I was actually watching some of your 1.5 hours of all your celebrity bits.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All the different clothes changes all the way through, and I was like, oh my god, and the hairstyles and the whole, that was amazing. So.
Well, I saved all those. I'm like, I don't know if they're going to start deleting all these videos. I better take what I can get in case I need a demo.
We'll keep supporting you here.
Yeah.
I will. You guys have been so great. I can't thank you enough for reaching out.
We're also only 94 days away from Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I got a whole bag of here for you, Jenna. Don't you dare. How dare you go there?
So when is it okay to get in the mood for Christmas?
November 12th, day after Remembrance Day.
It's Jesse's world, and we're just living in it.
Oh, you finally understand.
Well done, Jesse.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen.
On Air Coach.